Catherine Monvoisin was the wife of a French jeweler and had very influential premonitions in her childhood which made her famous. After her husband went bankrupt, she started making love potions, poisons, and narcotic elixirs for abortion. Then she began to provide information about people's future lives. Among her visitors were countesses, princesses, and nobles. In Paris in the 1680s, she was arrested for witchcraft along with her daughter, and in the same years, Catherine Monvoisin, proven to be a witch, was burned at the Place de Grève. After her mother's death, her daughter continued and prevented multiple assassination attempts with her intuition, and conveyed many secret files to the king. Crime. Killing between 2,000 to 2,500 people. Features. Palmistry, physiognomy, and alchemy were her most well-known features. Agnes Sampson began to gain a reputation as a healer in a village in Scotland at the end of the 16th century. In 1589, when the prince set sail to marry, Agnes Sampson decided to kill the prince to take revenge on the queen. Before setting sail, she fabricated an excuse about the woman the prince was to marry, telling the queen that the ship would be caught in a great storm and sink. Shortly afterward, she caused a great storm at sea with her own spell in her room, almost causing the ship to sink. In this situation, the prince returned, and after explaining the situation to the queen, he brought the woman the prince was to marry and her closest friend to Scotland. Upon the queen's order, the first witch trial was held, and the woman the prince was to marry and her friend were declared witches and burned alive. After this, Agnes Sampson had 70 people burned at the stake under false accusations of witchcraft. She was arrested for witchcraft in July and confessed to the crime under torture. Additionally, 3 priests who visited her in prison and several women confessed that she was the mother of Satan and a true witch. Those who visited her, including her protectors, were burned alive near Copenhagen, totaling 12 people. Crime. Attempted assassination of the prince, the wrongful deaths of 70 people. Features. She possessed supernatural powers. Alice Kittler was married 4 times, and the interesting part is that all of her husbands were wealthy and all of them died. Thus, Alice Kittler, who floated in wealth, became a prominent moneylender. People around her or the public began to accuse Alice Kittler of poisoning her husbands and sacrificing them to the devil. When they entered her house for investigation, they found many different bottles containing powders and dead animals. Upon this discovery, Alice Kittler was arrested and brought to trial for witchcraft. After these accusations, she also gained the title of the first witch in the Irish lands, and the decision to burn her was made the next day. However, the interesting part was that when it was time to take her out of the dungeon to be burned, she couldn't be found in the dungeon, and her whereabouts were never discovered. Upon the insistence of the public, her maid was whipped and burned alive at the same time on her behalf. Crimes. Denial of Jesus and the church. Gathering at the church at night to perform black magic, performing magic to control Christians. The deaths of her husband's features. Black magic.